Hey everyone, welcome back. I made a few more upgrades to the bot and I finally got to add the feature that I've been waiting for so long. So I can't wait to talk about it. But before we get into those updates, I got a couple of emails asking that they couldn't really understand how to interpret this dashboard or what purpose does it serve. So I just want to take some time explaining how to read this dashboard and how you can make use of this dashboard to identify which coins are active in the market. Alright, so the main objective of this tool is to identify coins that are currently moving in the market. So you can make use of volatility across different time frames to be able to identify which coins are making moves in the market. So let me explain how that works. So to understand that, you need to understand how these values are calculated. So the way we calculate volatility is we take the lowest price and the highest price during a certain window and plot it over here. So if you look at Sol ARC USDT, let's take ARC USDT. So on the daily time frame, you see 21.7%, right? So what it means is the coin had moved 21.7% in the last 1 day. And these are rolling windows, by the way. So it's more accurate. It's taken from the current snapshot, current time, till exactly 1 hour in the past or 1 day in the past, depending on the time frame. Similarly, volatilities are calculated across different time frames and plotted over here. Now, how can you make use of it? So let's take this example, right? So you can see ARC USDT, it moved 21.7% in the last 1 day, but in the last 5 minutes, you can see it only moved 1.5%. And you can see in the last 15 minutes, it dropped by 2%. So what it means, you can interpret these values as, most of the move has already happened, because you can see on the daily time frame, it's already moved by 21%. And you can see the price almost, going sideways or, choppy price action. And then you might see some retracement going on because on the 15-minute time frame, it went back to 2%. So maybe this is a good coin if you're looking for some short position, because most of the prices already happened, and in some cases it can be a bit overextended. So if you are looking to find some short positions, maybe this is something that you want to look for, like a high value on the higher time frames, and then on the lower time frames it's fairly stagnant. So that's one of the pattern you can look for. Let's take a few more examples, right? Similarly, you can see BBL USDT on the daily time frame, it went down by 23.5%. But if you look at the last 1 hour or last 15 minutes, the last 1 hour is just 5%, but last 15 minutes and 5 minutes, you can see the price hasn't gone down by that much. So you can see that the downward price movement might have slowed down, and that might be a dead cat bounce, or the price might, retrace slightly. So, if you're looking for some long position, maybe this is something that could interest you, because, the price has been fairly downward. You can see it already went down by 24%. So how much lower can it go? So if you're looking for some long positions, maybe this is something that should be on your radar, right? So that is one way you can look at it. But let's say you want to catch a move very early on. So now we can see, if you look at CTD USDT, you can see on the 15-minute time frame, it went up by 2.7%, but on the daily, it's already down by 18%, and on 5 minutes, it's 5%. So you can see on the daily, it's already down by 18%, but you can see it's slowly starting to tick up. So this could be one of those coins that is slowly retracing back to its mean, or it might have, it's already gone down by so much, so it needs to correct a little bit. So the price could be going up for a while. So this is probably a good option if you want to go long. And if you want to catch the move early on, so let's take this, right? So anything on the lower time frames, like below 30 minutes, 5 minutes, or 15 minutes, if you see the values exceeding threshold, so those are the coins that are actively moving on the market. So if you want to take a position right now, maybe that is something to look into, because those are currently actively, the price action is just begin to take place on those coins. Again, none of this is financial advice, but I'm explaining how you can interpret these values, these volatility values, to be able to shortlist coins that fit your trading criteria. So that's about it. So this is how you can use the volatilities across different time frames to be able to identify the patterns and detect coins that are moving in the market. Now let's talk about the features that I added. So one of the issues that I noticed in the existing version is, if I, by default, 4 time frames is what most of you would have. But if I turn it down to, let's just say I just want to have 1 time frame, in that case, you can see there's a lot of empty space on the dashboard, And if I hover over the coin, you can see even the box that surrounds the icon, the pair that I'm hovering, is not properly, it doesn't fit the box. So I fixed this issue. So if I go to the latest version, if I reduce the number of time frames, you can see now you don't see empty space on the dashboard. The space is properly occupied, and even when I hover over my mouse, the box perfectly fits the coin. So now you can just select any time frame or any grid size. The space is properly utilized in this version. You won't see large empty spaces as we did with the existing version. It's a bug. It's a bug, and it needed to be fixed, and I think the space is better utilized with this fix. Another issue with the existing version is if I scroll down on the dashboard, you can see the time frames header is not visible. You can see the time frames are only visible on the top. So let's say this is your default layout. You can see the time frames on the top, but if I scroll down, the time frames disappear. So this might make it harder for you to read the dashboard. So what I did in the current version is if you scroll down, the time frames stay sticky on the top, so you have no problem in reading the dashboard. So these two upgrades are more like bug fixes rather than features. So it's nice that we have it. Now let's talk about the new features that I added. The first big thing is I've added a new exchange, which is Binance Futures. So now you can select between Bybit Spot or Binance Futures. And again, you have the markets, you can toggle between different markets to look at the values. The next big upgrade, again, the feature that I've wanted to add for a long time, is to be able to select your own bins or create your own bins. So what I mean by that is, let's say you're on Binance Futures, and here you can only toggle between markets. But let's say you want to create your own set of basket, and you want to include the pairs that you really like or something that you have on your radar and you want to look at them actively. You should be able to create a basket for those coins and be able to display those on the dashboard, right? So I've added the feature to create your own bins. So now if you go to mode and toggle advanced layout, pay attention to this exchange. So as soon as I toggle the advanced layout, you switch to the advanced mode, which is bins. So now if you go to bins, you have different bins that you can choose from. So by default, when you do it for the first time, you won't have any bins over here. But to create a new bin, let's create a new bin, right? Let's go to Binance Futures. Let's do it for Binance Futures. As soon as I hover my mouse over Binance Futures, you can see a create green button. Again, I try to keep it minimalistic and not intrusive. You don't want to inundate the settings panel with a lot of buttons, so I kept it really minimalistic. And again, guys, I don't like to mention this a lot, but a lot of thought process goes into designing the forms. These forms need to be functional and also aesthetic at the same time. So again, a lot of thought process goes into it. So as soon as I hover my mouse over it, you see a create button, and when you click on create, that's how you can create a new bin. So let's say I want to give it a title. Let's say Q1 2025. That's my, these are the coins that are on my radar that I want to look for the first quarter of 2025. So next, if you come down, here is where you can search the coins that you want to add. So let's say I want to add these 3 coins, and then Ethereum. Let's say I want to add these coins. So as soon as I search for here, I see the filtered list over here. Okay, and when I click on something, it just gets added to the selected pairs below. And if I don't want any of this, when I click one of these coins, it gets deleted. So this is a lot simpler, and I think this is the most intuitive form that lets you, create your own bins. Think about it. So the challenge is there are hundreds of coins on these exchanges. So to be able to create a form that's very easy to navigate and still give you the flexibility to, add the coins that you want, I think you have to find some kind of trade-off, right? So I find like this is the most intuitive way to create this bin management form so that you can search for the pairs that you want and just add them to the list. All right. So let's add a few more fields. Let's take Sol, right? I'll add Sol, and that's it. So you can see now I have pairs irrespective of the markets. You can see I have few from BTC market, few from USDT market, and also USDC market. So you can just add any pairs, any combinations you want, and as soon as you're done, just hit apply. So that creates a new bin, and when I click on this bin, you can see that gets populated on the dashboard. And this is how you can, once you're done with the settings panel, you can scroll down and you have your dashboard here. So you can just toggle between different bins and add whatever pairs you want to the dashboard. Let's say I don't want Binance futures, right? Sorry, I just want Binance futures. I want to hide any bin from Bybit spot. Just select none, and that's it. It gets taken out. And if you want a few pairs from Binance futures and also a few from Bybit spot, you can create your own bin and then just add it here. That's it. And what if you want to edit the bin? Let's say when you've created the bin, you added a set of pairs, but let's say, no, I want to add a few more fields, or I want to delete an existing one. So when you hover over the bin, you will see an edit button that come up after you hover for a second or so. And when you click on that edit button, that's when you can edit the bin. So let's say I want to delete ETH USDT and add 1 inch USDT and ACE USDT. That's it. Hit apply, and that's it. So these are added back to the form. And if you want to delete the bin, again, hover over it, you get the delete button, select it, and you can just delete the bin. That's it. Are you sure what to do? If I hit cancel, of course, it's not deleted, but if you want to delete it, just hit delete and the bin is gone. That's it. So again, the buttons are not in your face all the time. They only show up when they have to. And once you're done creating the bin, you can just, you just have to toggle between the bins to add them to the dashboard. And I think they look really clean. Let me know what you think. I think it looks really clean and really intuitive to use. And now you have the flexibility to sort of customize the dashboard the way you want. So you can really make it your own. So that's about it. So these are the features that I've added, and I can't wait for you to try it out and share your feedback in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the bins, the bin layout, the way the layout is designed. Do you find it intuitive, and do you like having this feature? Let me know in the comment section. And that's about it. I think it's getting really close to the final version that I originally had in mind when I first started the project. And yeah, do try it, do give this a shot, play around with the layout settings, play around with the bins, and let me know what you think in the comment section. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.